at first I felt like I was going to be cheating using AI, but I was like, no, this is just a brainstorm so that I don't have to go and research. It brought it all to me so that I can then figure out how to be able to make it work for my students. So my name is Heartli Holston, and I teach at Sussex Central as a high school math teacher right now in Algebra I. So I just needed some brainstorming ideas because I have such a wide array of students. Some who they might need a little bit extra review, and then I have students who are on mark with the benchmarks and the standards, and then I have some who are like flying way ahead. I had one kid who was completely done the Mathia module before we even started the subject. He just took it and ran with it. So I was like, I want something for him to do and not move ahead into a whole different subject area. Like, let's see what we can do. And I was like, all right, so let me try this ChatGPT thing. And its name is Alfred now. So I've personalized it so that I ask it questions just like a person. And I just said, hey, I just need some real world scenarios on where we use absolute value. And it came up actually with 5 different topics. And it just started talking about using absolute value in weather. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I still was the one who came up with the questions, what standards that student needed, these students who are getting ahead needed to be able to show me. But then it was also challenging them to see how they can research stuff all over the world and be able to put it in a graph and see how it turns into that absolute value, which is what we're working on right now. And then since we're going into transformations, it asks questions such as how would the graph change if the temperature was to shift 5 degrees higher? What is that going to look like? So not only do they have to research their points, graph it, and then add transformations, what their final thing is, research how absolute value data supports the accuracy of forecasting the weather and use the information to explain how you would justify picking one forecasting provider over the other. So I had the student who had already completed all of Mathia while the class was broken up into other groups and doing their group independent work. I handed this to him, and he was extremely engaged for like 30 minutes. He's like working on this, and I would pop over and just be like, how's it going? And he's like, is this how I do this? Like, did I label it correctly? I'm like, you did great. And he needed to fix 1 or 2 little things, and it started to create that V, which is what we're working on. And he really went into it and was like really looking all over the world for these different temperatures. So it's allowing me to be like, okay, so here's the basics, here's my friends who understand the basics, and we're going to give them some challenging questions, and then here's my people who are mastering all of the mathematical parts, so let's see how they can apply it in real world.